It's so wonderful to be with you all today and to share such a special, exciting news and announcement with you. And the news is that a book that I have been writing for the last almost 10 years, my memoir, my autobiography, the story of how it all happened, is now being published. And today it is available on Amazon.com in a very special pre-sale that they're having. The book will actually be launched this summer, but you can, on August 3rd is the official publication date, but you can get a copy that you can order from today online on Amazon.com. So I wanted to share with you all because so many people know my story in terms of a 2-minute version or a 5-minute version, or even an 18-minute TED Talk version. But this is really the full story of how it happened. And it's got all of the magical, miraculous, mystical stories of the grace of Mother Ganga that touched me when I stood on her banks for the very first time 25 years ago, thinking I was just coming down to put my feet in the water because I was hot, I was tired. We'd traveled up that day and carried our bags across Ramjula. From that moment of such extraordinary and exquisite and amazing experience of awakening, experience of the presence of the divine in me, around me, everywhere, to, of course, the stories of getting my feet stuck in the middle of the ashram, literally as though I had stepped into quicksand and I couldn't walk out, to the stories of meeting my guru Puja Swamiji for the first time, to the stories of what it is like to actually be a disciple, not just a devotee, not just someone who bows and prays, but actually a disciple. And especially what that's like, having been an American Jewish young woman coming from an academic background, from Stanford, from being in the midst of getting a PhD in psychology, coming from that background into really being a disciple in religious India. And then having the gift of service, of really learning what does it mean to serve? What does it really mean to use every minute and every moment? Because I had been someone at Stanford. I was what's the bare minimum I can get by with? I was always the last night before the exam studying, last moment getting anything done. I liked to get A's. I liked to excel. But my question always had been, what's the bare minimum? And going from that mentality into a mentality that's the exact opposite of how can we serve as much as possible? How in every moment, every minute, can I use every breath in service? And how that actually transforms us and actually heals us. It's not about giving to others. It's about awakening in the self. And stories, of course, of what it is like being a woman, being a woman leader in the world of religious India, in a world where we worship the Devi, we worship the Mother Goddess. And there's so many challenges, as we know, actually in our societies and in societies of religion. What is that like? How to navigate that, how I've navigated that. But also, for me, what makes this really, really exciting and really special is, and this is one of the reasons it took almost 10 years to do it, is there's a lot of my story that isn't usually shared. There's a lot of the challenges that I went through in childhood, that I experienced, how I navigated those to the best of my ability at that time. The impact of those challenges, the impact of that trauma, what I did to try to heal, to try to find the answers. And then, of course, the grace of being told by my guru, by Puja Swamiji, give it to the river, of really learning what forgiveness means, what letting go means, how we, regardless of what's happened to us, regardless of what we've experienced, regardless of what we've done, how we can really let go of that, not in a way of suppression or repression or denial, but actually in a way in which we recognize that isn't me. Yes, it happened. And yes, it left impressions upon a mind, a psyche, and that isn't me. Who I am is full, is whole, is complete, is perfect, is divine, and most importantly, is worthy of grace. So many of us move through the world feeling like we are not worthy of grace, that somehow, due to what happened to us or due to what we've done, we don't feel worthy of grace. We feel like we're not pure enough or good enough or valuable enough or whole enough. On a more superficial level, we may feel that we're not smart enough, pretty enough, funny enough, popular enough, successful enough, rich enough as we move through the world. And when we pray for grace, when we want grace in our lives, tragically, so many of us feel unworthy, as though somehow we have to become different, be someone else in order to be worthy of grace. And for me, what is so precious about sharing this story with you is it's really a story of grace. So many of the beautiful biographies or autobiographies that we read of spiritual leaders, spiritual teachers, especially in the East, tend to be stories of men who basically came out of the womb enlightened, or who from early childhood knew that they were different, weren't interested in playing with their friends, weren't interested in games, weren't interested in the things that attract so many of us in youth. They didn't go up and down with the society, the friend circle, the day-to-day life. And those stories are incredible. And they're so inspiring and they're so uplifting. And we have tears pouring down our face as we enter meditation, as we read them. And yet, that's not my story. It's not my story. First of all, of course, I'm not a man, but on an even deeper level, the childhood that I had, the experiences that I had, were so beautiful in so many ways, so wonderful in so many ways, so privileged in so many ways, and with so many challenges, and even with trauma. And that was something that had made me feel not worthy of grace until I stood on the banks of Mother Ganga and experienced it. And until my guru showed me how to access that grace and how to really let go of all of that is not us. So it spans really my whole life. Most of you know I just turned 50, so it spans 50 years. The first 25 years in California, that world. And then the 25 years that I've been in India, from being just enamored and overwhelmed and having no understanding or frame of reference in which to put these spiritual experiences, into the incredible blessing of today, of being able to be a vehicle, a vessel for grace, for teachings, for wisdom, to help other people. And that's been such an incredible blessing. And so it took me all these years to write it because, of course, first of all, I thought, well, what to share? What to share? And is it really going to make a difference for people? And it took several years for so many close friends of mine, so many people I love and respect, to really help me understand that, yes, not only is this a fascinating story, not only is it a story that's really funny in so many ways, not only is a story that's unbelievable, but it's also a story that touches and inspires others, because it's not only my story, it also can be your story. Of course, the plot will vary, the details will vary. You may not find yourself with your feet stuck to the ground in an ashram in Rishikesh. You may not find yourself hearing voices telling you to stay there. You may not find yourself straddling the worlds of Hollywood and the Himalayas. But that doesn't matter. Whatever your experience is, whatever worlds you're straddling, wherever you've been stuck, it's a story of the possibility of grace and the presence of grace and how grace does not discriminate. So I'm so touched, and I feel so blessed to be able to share this beautiful, beautiful opening today, right now at 8:15 in the morning in California, just a little before 9 in the evening in India. Right now is the time that they've made this available on Amazon for you to order right now. So our beautiful, beautiful Seva team will be able to put the link to that in the text that goes with this video. If you don't even want to wait for that, you just go to Amazon and search for Hollywood to the Himalayas. That's the name of the book, Hollywood to the Himalayas, a journey of healing and transformation. So they'll put the link in the text, but if you don't want to wait, you can go there right now. And I really pray, because only then it's worth the hundreds and hundreds of hours that have gone into writing this. I really pray that this book touches you, inspires you, uplifts you, brings you closer and closer to grace, closer and closer to knowing who you are, and to having the experience of grace, of healing, and of transformation in your life. So with deep, deep gratitude to the entire global village that it has taken to bring this book out. You can read all about them in the acknowledgements, where I talk about all of the beautiful village that has come together to bring this book out. Deep gratitude to all of them. Deep gratitude to all of you for being with me on this beautiful journey together. Together, this is our satsang group, our satsang sangha, our community. For being part of that community, whether you're someone who pops up every week with questions, or whether you're someone who's never asked a question, but just absorbs and absorbs. Either way and every way, I so appreciate you. And I am so grateful that the divine universe has brought us all together. And I look so forward to hearing your feelings about the book, to hearing how you have changed because of it, how you have been able to find grace and healing and transformation in your life. And of course, to hearing which of the stories you laughed out loud about, which of them were new to you. So deep, deep gratitude to all of you, and so much love to all of you. And I'm so, so grateful to share this moment and all of the moments of our lives, this life and all of our lives. The inner life, the awareness of that inner life, diving into the inner life, and how that manifests in our outer lives. Together. You are really our family, our community, our sangha, our love-filled, connection-filled, deep Parivar family. So much love to you all, and thank you for joining me for this very, very, very special announcement in time. Love you all.